TIFU by telling my parents I was gay to avoid their arranged marriage proposals. Update, by user marriage avoidance. Hey everyone. I don't know if you remember me, but I'm the dude who came out as gay to avoid an arranged marriage. Anyways, I have an update for you guys. I read all the comments on the original post, from the people telling me to just tell my parents, questioning whether or not I was really straight, laughing at the admittedly fairly funny situation I'd gotten myself into, and a couple of people who were straight up mean. At the end of the day though, posting here probably gave me the final push to do something. The weekend after I'd made the post, I visited my parents as always and resolved myself to tell them the truth. However, when I got there, my mom as always pushed the binder in my hands and I kinda lost my resolve to tell her. I decided to just play along. It was then that I remembered the people on this thread who made fun of me for liking femboys and questioned whether or not I was really straight. I kinda took that to heart and decided to look at the binder of dudes in earnest to see if I liked any of them. TBH, I'm really glad I did. Most of the dudes were unattractive as expected, but I found a dude on there who I legitimately think is cuter and more feminine than the vast majority of girls I've seen. I told my mom I liked him and she kinda joked around asking me what the point of being gay is when I wanted a dude who looked like a girl anyways, moi stone statue. She talked to his parents, we had a meeting set up over Zoom and overall it went really well. Me and him have a bunch of common interests, we're both massive weebs and history nerds, and he also disclosed that he apparently cross-dressed in private, which only made me like him more. In the end though, we both decided we didn't want to rush into marriage and wanted to do a dating trial run of sorts. I told my parents and they were fine with it. My dad literally just told me that as long as we have marriage as an eventual goal and don't have sex before marriage, they didn't mind if we dated. Y'all, literally this whole shit show could have been avoided LMFAO, though I'm kinda glad it wasn't. Luckily he lived in the same state as me, but he was still a 3 to 4 hour drive away, so mostly we've just had Discord calls and spent time together gaming for the past few weeks. This Saturday though, we finally managed to meet up in person and have a date, and honestly I think I'm kinda in love. Dude's cuter than any girl I've ever met, but unlike most girls he's actually into the same things I am. Anyways, we ended up having a great day out on Saturday and I ended up staying at his place over the weekend, though surprisingly I kept my promise to my dad and somehow avoided having sex, lol. Anyways, yeah, I'm now back home and extremely happy with my decision to lie to my parents. Then again, is it really lying if it turned out to be true? I really do like him and will probably ask him to marry me a couple months from now if nothing goes wrong. TLDR, guess I really was gay all along. TIFU by insulting my wife's intelligence, by usercolors.com. I absolutely love my wife, but she's really stubborn about dumb shit. Throwaway, but I'm absolutely stunned to learn she doesn't know how metric measurements work. Today I fucked up by calling her out on it. She always seems to confuse ounces and milliliters, but I figured she just misspoke and usually could figure out what she meant. We have children together and now I'm starting to realize she thinks metric is just another name for the same measurements. Seriously, had a huge argument about how many fluid ounces we are feeding our baby. I asked, why did you tell the pediatrician we're giving 3 ml per feeding? It's 3 ounces, that's a huge difference. She looked at me completely serious and said those are the same thing. I said, wait, what are you talking about? And she proceeded to tell me how she learned that ml are equivalent to fluid ounce in nursing school and that she didn't make a mistake. I explained that she must have misunderstood because that doesn't make sense. She swore that she was correct and she wasn't wrong. I was stunned. Then I asked, why would there be 2 naming systems for measurements if they are the exact same? She said that metric is just the names Europeans use. LOL, we're American, shocker. When I showed her the correct conversion on Google, she suddenly backtracked and tried to say that it must have changed since she went to school, lol what, and then that she actually meant ounces are equal to liters, which is even worse. Here's where I fucked up. In my shocked frustration I said, well shit, no wonder you didn't pass your exams, can't be giving people lethal doses. Now she's pissed at me. TLDR, American wife thinks an ounce equals ml and argues with me about metric measurements until I say that must be why she failed her nursing exams. Edit, she makes this mistake verbally, she does know the difference in practice and can feed our baby fine. Someone mentioned she is probably thinking of 1 ml equals 1 cubic centimeter, which is true, and I should probably cut her sleep-deprived ass some slack. Update, some of y'all missed the part where I said this was my fuck up. What I said was mean and hurtful, but I was somewhat justified because that's a potentially serious and dangerous error. I should have just approached it better. We have discussed it and she did mean 1 ml equals 1 cubic centimeter but could not remember in the heat of the moment. I posted this because it's kind of funny how much bullshit imperial versus metric causes, and this is my PSA to teach yourself and your kids the difference. Also, for what it's worth, she is not a nurse but does work in the medical field. Healthcare is a human right. Everyone deserves free, quality healthcare. TIFU by walking around my one night stands flat naked, by user embarrassing_life. So obligatory. This happened a few years ago. I was 20 and I hooked up with this random dude. I woke up the next day and I was incredibly hungover. He was still asleep. I got up, walked to his bathroom which was attached to his room, and washed my face. My makeup was an absolute mess. And then once I'd fully woken up, I came back into his room and saw he'd left. I heard him in the living room moving around and I heard the TV, so I walked in. Still completely naked. Turns out it wasn't the TV. It was his family. His mum, dad, and 2 sisters. I obviously still hadn't fully woken up yet to notice the difference. I didn't even cover up straight away. I just stood there as everyone gasped. Then I realized, screamed, and went to run back into his room but fell over in doing so. The guy I slept with quickly shut the door behind me and shouted sorry through the door. Turns out they all made a surprise visit because they live far away. Safe to say I quickly got dressed and left and never saw him ever again, not because he wasn't lovely but because I couldn't see a world where I'd ever want to see his family again. TLDR, walked into the living room naked in a one-night stand's flat. Saw his entire family. And promptly got dressed, then left dying inside. TIFU by telling my co-workers how to make a shiv, by user Mental Tech Deck. I got hired for a new job recently. It's a bit of a dream job, working as a behavioral health tech at a psychiatrist hospital. I'm going to college for a major in social work and a minor psychology later this year, so this job is kinda perfect, especially since they have a program that will help pay for my college. The benefits are fantastic, pay is good, hours are great, and the best part of all, it's a hospital that has a reputation for legitimately trying to help their patients, often discounting costs of stays and helping people have stable support when they are discharged so they can help more of the community. I spent a lot of my childhood and teen years in the troubled teen industry. I have severe ADHD and depression, so seeing a facility that treats their patients like people and legitimately care was so nice. Yesterday was my first day, and I went in super early for a very long day of training. I was in a class with 2 other people, a behavioral health tech like me, and a registered nurse. Throughout the day, we met all the department heads as well as the CEO and CFO, who were all very nice and very passionate about their work. During our training, our trainer brought out a box of contraband items that were collected at this hospital over the years, to show us examples of the creativity people will go to harm themselves or others, and why searches are so important. It seemed like a lot of fairly standard contraband, a VP, broken tiles, a razor, etc. Then she pulled out 3 different shivs and showed us while saying she had no clue how 2 of them were even made, as 2 were these makeshift shivs, made from multiple items. Without thinking, I tell the trainer how one of the shivs was made, not gonna detail how cause I don't wanna give someone a blueprint here, and tell her how to confirm what I said was true, which she does. At this point I'm mortified, cause I just kinda word vomited that out to her, and now everyone is staring at me. I'm thinking I'm about to be fired on my first day, and I continue to word vomit, and say I'm not a murderer, I just spent some time in psychiatric hospital growing up, and then doubled down by explaining how the other shiv was made in my panic. At this point, I'm mortified but still babbling about how to sneak in contraband. My 2 new co-workers are staring at me in surprise, and the training is gaping at me in shock. It took a few minutes, but she didn't fire me on the spot. She actually says me having this history in the system and knowing this stuff is very useful, but I'm still mortified cause I've basically dropped my mental health history and made myself seem like I make improvised weapons all the time, which is super embarrassing. TLDR, I explained to my new co-workers how a shiv was made, then continued to word vomit. TIFU by changing my name on WhatsApp, by user banana_s_breath. So a few months ago I, 25F, was playing a game with some friends that is quite similar to Cards Against Humanity, and there were some chat cards where you had to choose an answer to. The layout was similar to a popular dating app starting with T. One of the weirder characters' name was Torpedo_Torsten_69, which I found extremely funny and I honestly could not stop laughing about it. So I changed my name on WhatsApp to Torpedo Torsten 69, so everyone who does not have my number saved in their phone would see this name when I text them. I don't text unknown people often, so I obviously forgot about it completely. And this month I started a new job. I think you all know where this is going. I am now working in a huge restaurant/bar and got invited to the WhatsApp group chat. Over 100 people are in the group. And then the first person in the group chat saw my name and found it rather funny. And now everyone is calling me Torpedo Torsten. Everyone. Even in front of our guests. And like I mentioned in the beginning, I am a woman. I've kept up by changing my name on WhatsApp to Torpedo Torsten, and now everyone at work is calling me 25F, exactly that.